y'all, welcome to my channel. This is Dosha with DoshaDreamsTarot, and this is a reading for the sign of Aries. This is for Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus signs wherever you have Aries in your chart. Please keep in mind it is a general reading, so it may or may not resonate with you. Just take what does, leave the rest for somebody else. Y'all know the drill, hopefully. If you're new to my channel, welcome. If you're a returning subscriber or viewer, thank you so much, and nice to see you again. Glad you're here. I am going to start doing live soon, guys, because I really want to be able to like interact with you guys while I'm doing these videos, but it really all depends on you, because to do lives and really actually have people come into the chat and like hang out with me is really, the more interactions I get with my videos, then the wider the message gets spread. So the more people who will actually be likely to tune in, you know? So it's kind of sad to do lives by yourself if like no one shows up to your chat. Anyway, so that'll be, I should share that in a collective reading as well, just so everyone knows, because this is Aries reading. So anyway, Aries, thanks for being here. I'm gonna stop yabbering on. All I have to do is say a couple more things though. So obviously, yeah, interact with the video, like, share, comment, subscribe. That's how this all works around here. Also wanted to say that gender is fluid, so please keep that in mind moving forward, that I'll try and use gender neutral language as much as I can in order to make the reading more accessible and inclusive, right? But if a pretty strong energy comes through that's very clearly a specific gender, I have to channel the message clearly. So sometimes that comes through and I, gotta say it. But anyway, that's pretty much it, guys. Let's go ahead and get into the reading. Thank you so much, Spirit, for your divine messages and guidance. We are deeply grateful. We know we couldn't do this without you. Would you please help guide Aries for their highest good, Spirit? And please bless us and protect us as we move forward into this reading. Aries, what the frick? Whew, this is why we ask for blessings and protection, baby. This is why we ask for protection. Yep. Wow, because sometimes we might deal with some bullshit, a little bit of a shakeup to our stability, okay? It is going to be necessary for us to have some balance here. Okay, 8 of Swords, guys. So look, this particular situation, whatever's going on here, guys, this is going to be a little bit scary. Okay, I'm not going to lie. And I'm telling you that like out of pure honesty, okay? Because it's the first energy I'm getting. I'm getting very revved up, like I'm getting ready to deal with the situation. That's how I feel. So we've got 4 of Wands in reverse. This may be something that kind of rocks your stability, okay? This could have to do with your home life. This could also have to do with your relationships, all right? Either, I'm getting like 4 different messages, okay? First thing is, this could be a union that you decide not to move forward with. This could be a union that breaks apart. This could be, like I said, it could just be your 4 walls, right? You know what I mean? Your 4 pillars. Your 4 wands, right? That's kind of how I look at it too. It is union and celebrating union with others, but it's also talking about, like, you know what I mean, union that creates some type of stability. It's a commitment of some sort, right? There's something going on here, guys. 5 of Swords. My immediate thoughts are something in your environment that I believe could be, okay, I'm getting a couple different messages, Aries. Either this could just be the petty everyday drama between you and like your family, you and your coworkers, or your coworkers and you're just there, you know what I mean? This could be the conflict between your family members and you're just there. Like, this doesn't necessarily have to be the conflict that you're involved with, but it could just be conflict happening around you, right? In your kind of everyday affairs, in your circle, right? Basically. But what I'm getting is that these things, this situation, whatever it is that's happening here, either happening in your relationship, something that's going on around that's impacting your relationship, that seriously, I'm getting almost discombobulated right now. Like, I really felt like I needed to do a reading for you guys, and I wasn't even planning on doing any sign readings today. I was just going to take it easy, but we've got the 2 of Pentacles in reverse. So what this is telling me, guys, I have a couple different feelings about this card, especially in the context of the Four of Wands in reverse. What I'm almost getting here is like, either there's some weird petty stuff that's happening outside of this relationship, this union, or the stability, whatever it is. There's some petty stuff that's going on. And I feel like somebody really can't, okay, guys, this is like, I hate that it's getting into like personal life relationship stuff. But a lot of times a lot of times, guys, that stuff comes up because it's some of the most difficult stuff for us to deal with. So it may sound petty or dramatic or like just kind of getting into like he said, she said, like back and forth drama stuff, like just for the sake of it. But that's really not the case. Like if you guys are familiar with my readings at all, you know that like I talk about a lot of stuff in tarot, not just this kind of stuff. So this is not my go-to. This is not my lens, right? This is just what is coming up, okay? So what I'm getting here is that somebody here was juggling a situation. Like I said, either they were not being completely honest and there was some stuff going on that you didn't know about. Like I said, stuff around you that's impacting your relationship, which could be communication with the Swords card, right? I mean, that's what I'm getting is communication between other people, some kind of like toxic thing where like, you know what I mean? It could be one person who has like a couple of different people that they're talking to, right? Is something that just came through with this card, right? Somebody who kind of like, you know what I mean? Is in that type of position, right? Well, there's some type of power dynamic, there's some type of toxicity, some type of attachment, right, guys? We're gonna zoom out too because I'm getting quite a few different messages. This is just the personal interrelationship message that's coming through right now, is that there was some lack of clarity with the Ace of Swords in reverse as far as the situation goes. Like I just feel like there wasn't a whole lot of transparency here because like I said, it's almost like stuff that's happening around you that's impacting your relationship, that's really stuff happening behind the shadows, but somebody looks pretty cool, calm and collected on the surface is what I'm getting. This is also your advice to stay cool, calm and collected, right? To stay balanced, you know, to stay patient and see how things play out. But like, here's the deal, because here's the deal. Like I said, okay, either somebody's coming off as cool, calm, and collected, but they're really feeling like this devil underneath. That could be you, Aries. You know what I mean? But it could also be the other person. I'm just getting a lot of similarities between these two cards and the energy here, even though they're complete opposites, basically. You know what I mean? So you may be also mirroring and reflecting. But so there wasn't a lot of clarity or transparency is what I'm getting here. And so I feel like this... somebody, whoever was juggling, which is more than likely this devil character, right? Which I'm not feeling like it's you, Aries, but I think you guys might be mirroring each other, or they might, like I said, they might be trying to come off like this, you know? And you're also trying to come off like this. Does that make sense? This is the energy you're trying to sit in. This person may be mirroring that also and trying to pretend like they're all good, but they're not able to juggle this anymore. Like either they can't keep up the lies, that the lies are getting out of hand. I'm literally just hearing this, you guys. I don't even know what to say. But I feel like they can't juggle it anymore. So it's going to come crashing down and they're going to have to make a decision, basically. Because they can't keep doing this, basically. I just don't think it's working out for them. For whatever reason, it's either running them ragged, it's not what they intended, but they feel stuck in it now with this Eight of Swords, you know? So they're kind of like, well, fuck, I wasn't really intending for this to become like a thing that I just literally can't even upkeep anymore. You know, they might not necessarily be a bad person. I mean, I'm getting that it could be a lot of different things. Let's look into it. Let's get deeper. Why is the devil here? Why is the devil here? Because I really just want to understand also, like, guys, sometimes, like I said, people's intentions, Two of Cups, okay? This could be, like I said, this could be your person or somebody that you're connected with this Four of Wands in reverse, that somehow it's like they're realizing that they're not going to be able to, they can't keep this up, basically. They can't keep this up forever. It was fun while it lasted, but they're like, yeah, this is going to impact my ability to even have solid connections in my life and committed connections with the Four of Wands that have to do with like my home life, you know? And this petty stuff, they realize they're like, oh God, all of this communication, separate communication with all these different people who I'm involved with, right? This is what I'm getting from this devil character energy, right? Like I said, it doesn't mean they're a bad person. Give me one sec, guys. It doesn't mean they're a bad person. It just means that's the energy they're in right now. They feel trapped. They feel stuck. But The Ace of Wands is right underneath that, which to me is really talking about a brand new beginning here. That I think they're having also a bright idea or some type of enlightenment, and their passion is struck. You know what I mean? Their passion may very well be struck by you, Aries. You know what I mean? Or that they realize they feel stuck in their current circumstance, they're going to drop it. This is part of the reason why you're being asked to be patient here, because I don't necessarily know, like I said, there's a lack of transparency and clarity, but is this a situation, like I said, this could be your person, this could be someone you're dealing with. Doesn't necessarily mean that this is like your spouse or whatever. Like, I'm getting that's possible for some of you guys, but for a lot of you guys, it's almost like just because someone doesn't tell you something doesn't mean they're lying to you. It just means that they're not telling you. You know what I mean? And I know for some of you guys out there, you're going to be like, well, that's just as bad as lying, is by keeping something to a secret, right? But at the same time, ask yourself this question, and then you'll know which side you fall on, right? Basically, or which camp you'll fall in, because you'll know, okay, so are you in the type of a type of connection with this person where that they owe you that kind of honesty? And when I say they owe you, I mean like where that they like, because you're not entitled to know everything about everyone's life unless you ask. If you ask and then somebody says no, but they're lying to you, or they say, I don't feel comfortable talking about that, or like, you know what I mean, whatever, it's like, but if you're not asking and they're not telling, right, it's kind of like a don't ask, don't tell thing. Like, if you're dating somebody, you're just getting to know them, it's, I mean, you get to decide what type of person you are, what kind of dater you are, right? So if you're the type of person where you ask pretty upfront, like right away, like, oh, are you seeing anybody right now, you know, kind of thing. And then if they're like, yeah, I'm dating a couple people, or I'm seeing a couple people, then you can decide, oh, well, I'm into that, or I'm not into that. You know what I mean? And so then you can at least find if you're compatible, because it's not wrong for somebody to date multiple people and not necessarily say anything about it. I mean, truly, because it's your business. I don't have to tell you anything, right? Like, we don't have agreements. We're not exclusive. You're not my spouse. You're not my partner, whatever. Like, so, I mean, I'm the type of person where I'm upfront, like, pretty much right out the gate. You know what I mean? I don't like keeping things to myself necessarily, unless it's something that's like I'm just talking to somebody, but we're not seeing each other. You know what I'm saying? Then it's kind of dumb to tell someone that I'm talking to somebody. Does that make sense? But for me, I'm kind of the type of person where I'm like, no, I'm totally single, not seeing anybody. Or I'm like, yeah, I'm seeing this person, or I'm seeing that person, or you know what I mean? Whatever. Because I feel like transparency is important. And I do that to gauge where other people are at in order to see what their dating style is like. Because, you know, more often than not, if I'm being open, you know, then they're going to be open with me. So then we can just basically see if we're compatible. You know what I mean? Really, because we're all different. So it doesn't mean any is right or wrong, basically, guys. But what I'm saying is this might be a situation where they haven't necessarily told you that they're seeing multiple people, or that there's all this other stuff happening behind the scenes that you don't see, basically. That these people that they're juggling, these people they're trying to keep happy, or they're trying to date, and it's becoming kind of a mess. Is what I'm getting here. And it can be funny. Like, it doesn't have to mean like, oh, this person's sneaky and they're a bad person. It's like, I don't really feel that, honestly, guys, besides the devil energy. But what I'm feeling more than anything is that they are caught up in some type of toxicity that has them bound, and they feel stuck to it. But they're having a realization. Like, I'm even seeing in the devil's hand, do you see that they have a, what do you call it? A torch, right? Well, and then underneath that Eight of Swords, we have the Ace of Wands. So do you see what I'm saying? Is that them being in this situation is actually showing them something. Like that it's actually pushing them to that edge where that they're like, oh, holy shit, like, this is what I really want. This is what I'm really passionate about. I'm almost hearing this is my good luck, right? Because it looks like almost like a horseshoe if you see that in the Ace of Wands. It's not, but it looks like it. So I'm almost thinking like good luck charm or something like that, where they're kind of realizing like, this is not what I want. This is not who I want to be. This is not the games I want to play. I really want something like fresh and brand new, and it's not going to be toxic like this. And I want to release myself. I want to come unstuck out of this, you know? Like, I want to come forward. I'm going to leave that Ace of Wands out because it wants to stay out, but wow. Okay, so we have the Page of Cups. See, I want to come forward. I want to approach something innocently and without all this toxic energy. You know what I mean? And they're like I can get this where they're feeling like they're going to have to give something up to a certain extent. They may be in connections that they have to leave. Okay? This is the energy I got in the beginning, is the connections falling apart, right? And them no longer being able to juggle all these connections, right? And it may actually lead to the downfall of all the connections they have right now. You know what I mean? And I think that they're actually willing to do that. That's what I'm getting here, is they actually want to do that, because they're kind of like, it would be almost like dropping burdens too. You know what I mean? But they know that they would be losing something by letting these things go. But at the same time, because they feel so trapped to them, you know what I mean? They feel so attached and so trapped within them, though, that I don't think that they're even enjoying it at this point. But I think they do want to, communicate in a different way than like what they, you know, or maybe this is the energy they want to take on, whether they're like, you know what, I don't want to be this big bad devil daddy, whatever. I don't know why that's coming through, guys. But I don't want to do all that. Like, I would rather, you know, kind of not go backwards, but it's almost like I want to start over with this Ace of Wands, right? And this Knave of Cups. It's like I want to start over, and I want to approach something new with the newness of, you know, kind of like, instead of engaging in the same way that I usually would with somebody, it's like maybe I come at it from a complete opposite, right? And that's almost kind of like exciting for them, you know? Or maybe not exciting, but it's actually refreshing. And it makes them feel like, I don't know, it's 10 of Coins. I just feel like they really want to turn things around. Like, I'm seeing the Wheel of Fortune in reverse, and wow, and then the 10 of Swords, and I gotta end it there. Oh my god, and then the Sun. Okay, never mind. It's like, you gotta end it there. Okay. So, I feel like, guys, that they are willing to put an end to whatever kind of nonsense they're dealing with right now. And I feel like that is their intention, and that is what they're doing here, because they want to move towards their sunshine, okay? And like, guys, I'm not even trying to be cute right now. Like, I'm being serious. Like, not just their, like, you're their sunshine or you're their good luck charm or whatever, but like, I think they kind of do feel that way a little bit, or they could see that. Like, that kind of, you have sparked in them whatever it is here, guys. Like, you have sparked this realization that they're like, I'm not going anywhere fast with this other stuff, basically. And they can see that. You know what I mean? That they want to turn this around, because they feel like this is what they really want, but maybe they've been selling themselves short here, is what I'm getting. Maybe they felt stuck and they've kind of sold themselves short. All right, Spirit, let's get a little deeper. I'm actually going to go ahead and switch decks. How much time are we in? Okay, we're only 18 minutes in. That's good. Wow, sometimes I say a lot and I'm almost feeling like the reading's a lot longer, but it's just because a lot of messages came through. So, all right, thank you, Spirit, so much for these messages so far. I hope that they're helpful. Can we go ahead and clarify why the Devil card is here? Because I just want to understand a little bit more. Because I do, like I said, I think the message is coming through pretty quick that this person feels bound. Yeah, I feel like this person is getting ready to like let go of some stuff they've been dealing with. With this Temperance card, it's like I said, this is how they come off to you, or this is the way that you perceive them. And like I said, this may be the energy that you're trying to put out there too and be perceived as, like being very balanced and very calm and very patient, right? Which is good, great energy. But I feel like underneath it, there's like all of this passion. Like, I feel like for both of you guys, because Aries, I'm just saying, I feel like it's for both you guys, and you're mirroring each other. You're trying to come off super calm and patient and cool and collected and calm and shit. But like, I'm just getting that you have some serious sexual desire underneath there. So do they. Like, you guys both do. You guys are both wanting to kind of like come towards each other, but I think that there's some fear here because of the feeling stuck and bound to something, but also because of whatever is going on behind the scenes, that I feel like, yeah, something is going on behind the scenes here that's not cool, and I think that you don't know about it because there's a lack of clarity and honesty here. But, Judgment. Okay, guys, so I've been saying this for a couple weeks, but this is the card of Pluto, and it is Pluto retrograde right now until October of this year. Now, check it out, guys. I'm not going to get too deep into that, but what I want to say here is that if you are going through stuff in your life where you have things surfacing that have been, you know, buried for a long time, or you have relationships that are basically like being reviewed right now, where that you're like, do I want to continue with this relationship? Is this relationship healthy? You know, or something comes up from the past for you to resolve, you know, things get resurrected, right? If that's happening for you guys, just think about it. It's happening for everybody. That means it's happening for this person too. So they're going through a review in a way and taking stock of their life, and they're deciding if they want to keep moving forward with certain things, you know what I mean, or not. So this is kind of their state of mind right now too. You all are in transition, and everybody's in transition to a certain degree here. But in this situation, I'm just saying I think that there might be a lot of that happening in this particular situation with you and this person. So I would keep that in mind and not necessarily get hung up like taking things personally or expecting a whole lot. Like I would not expect a lot from this person right now. And I'm not saying because they're not capable, Jesus, of giving it. But they're not capable of giving it right now because they're like kind of confused and trying to, yeah. They might be going through it, okay? They might have to break some hearts here, or they might be having their heart broken, guys. The situation is pretty uncool. That's what I'm getting. That's a really like light-hearted way of saying it. But what I'm getting here is if you're patient, you do your thing. Yeah, don't come rushing in with a bunch of passion. I wouldn't expect that from this person either. I'm saying that I think you both are just trying to come off really cool and collected, and that's good right now, okay? But there may be a lot of, like I said, okay, so be aware, you know what I mean? That there's probably some misfortune happening to a certain degree, and you don't want to act impulsively because, like, you're trying to distract yourself, or because, like, you know what I mean, like you guys don't want to wow, I don't know, guys, I'm getting a really weird message for this card again. So what the hell does that mean, Spirit? That is crazy. It was like you want to be careful because you don't want to get caught like a worm. And I'm like, what the hell does that mean? And it's like, because when it rains, the worms come out of the ground so they don't drown underwater. So when they come out, they're vulnerable to prey, or they're vulnerable to predators. Dude, whoa. Okay, that's a crazy message, Spirit. Wow, thank you. So, okay, what Spirit's trying to say here, guys, is that when it rains, imagine rain being this misfortune I was talking about, okay? Usually rain is a very good thing, but let's think about it for worms, okay? They've got to come up out of the ground. Guys, this is the craziest fucking message, okay? They got to come out of the ground in order to not drown, right? So that's why worms come up when it rains. That's why I'll also show you guys this, because this is actually kind of cool and weird. But so when, basically when it rains, there's like the sound pounding on the earth, so the worms can sense it, right? And so they come up out of the ground. So you can actually mimic that sound by grating like two pieces of sticks together that are serrated on a stump. This is the craziest old backwoods shit ever, guys. But then it creates the same vibration and the worms start coming out of the ground, and you're able to harvest earthworms like by a lot in order to use them for fishing, and you can sell them and stuff. Crazy ass message, guys, coming through with this card right now. But what it's trying to say is when you come up to the surface, because say some misfortune happened, so you had to come up to the surface, put yourself out there because you don't want to drown. You guys should go watch my collective reading I just did about some of the current issues that we're dealing with, guys. I'll link it here at the end. And one of the things that came up was that people feel like they're drowning right now because unemployment benefits are ending, or are being severely reduced, or people's stuff is on hold, right? And they're getting, like, their stuff is at risk, right? Their benefits. And also the gasoline shortage. There's no gasoline to be found anywhere where I am in the Southeast. And so people are stuck at home, or they're stranded, or their car got left somewhere, or they, you know what I mean? It's bad right now, guys. But so basically, What I'm saying is that you might have to come up to the surface, so to speak, all right? And put yourself out there. Like a lot of people are going to be looking for work and stuff. But so you want to be careful in love because you might put yourself out there and you may be kind of having a hard time with this misfortune card. I mean, with the Wheel of Fortune coming out in reverse twice, guys, is that you may experience some type of financial difficulty or something, and it might actually draw you towards, or somebody might be drawn towards you because of your vulnerability, because of your struggles, because of what you might be going through right now or something. And so you got to be careful because that could actually turn into a toxic power dynamic also. But Spirit's saying you might get plucked up by a bird, okay? And that's a scary idea. For whoever this message is for, I hope you feel me. Like what I'm saying here is you got to be careful, because if you're vulnerable because you're struggling financially, somebody could take advantage of that need, okay? Because it becomes a need, and when people know you need something and they want something from you, then all they have to do is offer you what you need, and they can more than likely get what they want out of you. This is just the changing of the tides. This is just the changing of a cycle. Do not let this vulnerable moment where you're in between death and birth, right? Your life is, we all are in this transition right now where things are ending and new things have to begin, right? New things are being born. This is a very fragile time, and you want to be careful about putting yourself out there and being vulnerable during this cycle change, because you can get snatched up, okay? And I'm not trying to be scary. I'm not trying to be dramatic. And I'm sorry if that's at all triggering for anybody, and I wasn't even trying to say, like, I meant it metaphorically, but when I said it out loud, that's what it made me think of, okay? So you need to be careful out there, guys. Please be careful. Don't be vulnerable right now and put yourself out there. People are literally nuts. Like, I'm not trying to be a fucking asshole, and I'm not trying to be scary, like I said, but you guys know you got to be able to defend yourself, okay? You got to be determined to survive this. You have to be determined to continue on and continue forward without letting this stop you. And not only letting it stop you, but letting it make you bend where that you're willing to do things that you maybe weren't willing to do before. You know what I mean? And you got to be careful, because you can't trust everybody, guys. You know, someone could come along and have a really nice offer, but they could be fucking lying to you. And I'm not trying to tell you not to take help. I'm not trying to tell you to mistrust everybody, but Spirit's saying you need to be careful, especially in love right now. If someone tries to mix finances into that, like, you just have to be really cautious. Okay? Anyway, look. What do you need, Spirit? What do you think? Ace of Pentacles in reverse. Yeah. Again, this is coming out again because I was seeing it before when I was shuffling, but it's talking about, like, false offers is what I'm getting here. Okay? So that's a pretty big message that was coming out just now. So I would take heed, okay? Be wise. Do not get desperate, okay? Okay? Because it's more than just your money at risk, okay? This is like your emotional safety also. You know, because like I said, with love, because you want to be careful, because somebody couldn't, you know, maybe, I mean, it's obvious when someone's, you know what I mean, being predatory, right? You're like, oh, I know this person's predatory. But somebody could come off as maybe, like I said, bringing you some type of this, because this is staying at the bottom of the deck, bringing you some type of emotional fulfillment. And this is more than just someone being like, hey, you know what I mean? I'll pay you to be my live-in girlfriend or whatever. It's like, it could be more manipulative than that, where it's more like, I want to take care of you. You know what I mean? I love you. I care about you. Come stay with me, right? That's the kind of thing you need to look out for, because you might be tempted. You might be tempted, especially if things are hard for you right now. This could look very tempting, but you do not want to become vulnerable to these predatory birds, right? Which birds sing a pretty song, right? But you want to be careful, because you don't want to allow your vulnerability, your need, right? Some type of financial need, to put you in harm's way in order to reach that goal. I'm just saying, we all have to take risks. We have to do what we have to do. But I'm just saying, guys, when it comes to love, if somebody puts you in a position where that you could become isolated with that person, you know, where they're like, come live with me, then it's like, if you give up other housing opportunities to go live with somebody who wants to take care of you. I don't know why that's coming through so strongly, guys, but you need to be careful because you can end up in a position where that you are then dependent on that person and you're dependent on them for your housing, you know? So if things aren't going well at home, right? That's your fucking safe space, dude. You need your safe space to not be dependent on a romantic relationship unless it's a solid ass romantic relationship, guys, you know? So you want to be aware and you want to be cautious and you want to be honestly balanced and patient. Yeah, because there might be some really sudden upheaval, guys. I'm getting that this is going to be some unexpected difficulties, and like Spirit was saying, if you are prepared for these difficulties mentally, emotionally, and you know that you can withstand, okay? You've been through this before, Aries. And if you haven't, I'm telling you that there are plenty of people who have. And I'm being serious. This person is an opportunist. You have to be careful. This person is an opportunist. If they know that you're not doing so hot or that something just happened in your life, there's some big upheaval, they will come in and try and be the hero. Guys, I'm almost getting, because check it out, guys. Hold on. Hold the fuck on. I'm sorry. But this devil energy, could this be part of this toxic dynamic that this person engages in? This savior mentality, right? Like, remember when I said like big boss daddy, dom daddy or something? I don't know what I said, guys. I'm sorry, devil daddy, that's what I said. Okay, and this is gender fluid too, guys. It's just an energy, so, you know, whatever. It could be a man or it could not be, okay? But, honestly, because this devil has tits also. Just saying. Anyway, fucking Jesus. I'm sorry, guys. Anyway, what I'm saying is that this person may like being in charge. They may like being in control. They might like being the hand that feeds, okay? So they could be a little bit of like have a little bit of a hero complex, but it's like, but are they really the hero? If like they're swooping in on people who are vulnerable, who need help, and then it's like, oh, well, now you're kind of like bound to me in a way. You feel like you owe me. You know what I mean? You want to be sweet and kind to me too and give back and be all generous because I'm so generous. It's like, it doesn't feel like, okay, because we saw the Six of Pentacles in reverse earlier also. So it doesn't feel like it's an equal thing. It's like this person has the finesse. Maybe they make the initial investment, but then it's all about the return on the investment for the other person. You know what I mean? Or you could do one thing, and because that one thing you did was so amazing, it's like you can get somebody to keep coming back to you and keep bringing you more and more. And you don't even have to really do much else. After that, you're like, oh yeah, well, I did the initial thing, help set this person up with a spot, help set this person up with a job, whatever it is, something that's going to last. Then it's like, oh, well, then now you just have a pretty much an infinite return on investment from somebody who's forever grateful, right? Like, this is a crazy dynamic that's coming up, guys, because, like, honestly, I don't even think about this shit, like, in my spare time. This is literally the message that's coming through, guys. This could be someone who's, like I said, maybe they're not a bad person. Maybe they're actually a good person. They actually are helping people. They actually are a helpful person. They actually do want to give. But it becomes this dynamic that they don't even like, that they can't even control, that they feel stuck in, because imagine somebody being forever grateful to you also, and that not being something that you want. Or, like, you guys get what I'm saying? Or that it's like, because then somebody is not only forever grateful, but they could be attached to you. They could have some type of attachment where they're like, oh, like, this person saved my life. So, like, you know what I mean? I am trauma bonded to them. I want them in my life. I want to be near them. They make me feel safe, right? So you can actually end up with people, you do something nice for somebody, they could end up obsessed with you guys. And, like, I'm not trying to be an asshole, I'm being real. And this is the energy that's coming through, is that somebody could get obsessed with you, right? And so what I'm saying is this person, they might have people who are obsessed with them because they're kind and giving, and they've created this dynamic basically with these people. And it's toxic, and they know it is. I think they know it is, hopefully. And it sounds to me like these other people might, I don't know, man. I don't get the feeling that this is, like I said, there's kind of a lack of clarity and transparency here, is that other people might not even know. They might not even know about the other stuff that's going on, you know? So they might not know about the other dynamics between this person and others, right? They may not even know there's multiple other people. Because this person is like, well, I'm just being helpful, right? Do you get what I'm saying, guys? I'm just helping out my people, my little sweeties, right? Yep, totally. That's right, Daddy. That's all you're doing. Nothing inappropriate going on here. Even though you secretly know these people are obsessed with you, right? Like, this is for the cross watcher. This is the energy Aries. This could be you. Like, if some of you guys are resonating with this on the other side, please drop it in the comments, because I just think that's awesome when that happens. Well, it's not that I think it's awesome. I think it's funny, but okay, but here's what I'm getting, because this is cautioning someone else, is that, look, okay, here's the deal too. If this person does, like I said, it's like they even feel stuck in their own dynamics, the dynamics that they create with other people that are unequal. And they're unequal in that, okay, here's the other thing. This person could be really giving, and then they just end up with people attached to them. So then they feel stuck because they're like, oh, now I'm like the provider, and I can't ever receive. You know what I mean? That could happen too. So that could be part of the dynamic here. And like I said, they want to start over. They don't want to keep getting back into the same dynamic. They want something fresh and new, something that's going to be different, maybe something that's more reciprocal and long lasting. You know what I'm saying? That they don't feel like this is very cool or fortunate for them. Maybe they liked it at first, not anymore. They're ready to put an end to it. Remember, guys, I'm just showing you this because this is all coming together too. If this was actually not good for them either. They're not just being a bastard, but they might not be able to help it, guys. They might be a hopeless romantic. They may also, like I said, be kind of a hero, have a hero complex, which can be very toxic for the hero. Absolutely. Okay? But this is what they're moving towards. This is like like I said, they're trying to find their balance. That's why this is here. They're trying to find their balance. You're trying to find your balance. You guys might actually be the types of people to balance each other out. Like I said, you might be mirroring each other. But it's because you have to understand this type of dynamic that they keep getting into. Because I'm just looking at some other cards, guys. It's fine. It doesn't matter. All the knights are here, basically. So this is what I'm saying is like I said, underneath it, this person has like a lot of sexual desire. They might actually be really sexually attractive to other people, okay? And they might, sex might definitely be a part of their little MO here, okay? It definitely could be. But they might keep it a secret, right? We got to keep it on the down low. That's kind of the energy that they come at with other people with also, is we have to be secretive about it. Other people can't know, because basically, guys, I'm just trying to be serious with you. They might actually use shame as a way to keep people from talking about it too. Because if it seems like, not an accident, guys, but it's kind of like we've created this dynamic where it's like, oh, we can't help ourselves, and so we end up sleeping together, then it's kind of like, oh, let's pretend like that didn't happen, and then you just kind of like, you know what I mean? And this is something that happens, guys. This is getting to be a long reading, and I'm sorry. Like, I actually hope you're enjoying it, because this is so funny that what just came up. This is so real, and you guys have to understand this is a highly toxic dynamic that happens, and I'm just talking about it because it is the reality that we live in, unfortunately, in a lot of cases. Like, I have to talk about this because it talks about gender. So, but basically, guys, the concept is like cult leaders. Okay, just think about cult leaders. And I'm not saying that this person's a cult leader, okay? I'm just saying that this personality type or this dynamic is what lends itself to these types of situations. But what it is where, say there's like one attractive man, right? And then there's multiple attractive women. They're all heterosexual, okay? We'll just make it easy. And basically, that man is in some type of power position, right? So he seems somewhat untouchable to some of these women, right? It's a very genderized example, but this is very, very real, and so I want to address it. But so there's, other women who are, attracted to this person, but they kind of feel like they're a little untouchable. So when this person gives them attention, it makes them feel really special. And they're like, oh, wow, like this person thinks that I'm something special, and they think that I kind of stand out above the rest, and they're interested in me, and that makes you feel really special. So then there's women who will basically think like, wow, okay, I am obviously getting better treatment than these other people, and so, you know, maybe there's something going on here between me and this person, and they'll be really excited about it, but they won't tell anybody because they don't want to jinx it. I know that sounds so stupid, guys, but seriously, like, or they don't want other people to get jealous. They don't want other people to, this isn't a group. Let's say this isn't a group where you're just, you know what I mean, interacting with these people all the time. But instead of being like, I think so-and-so has a thing for me, because they always do it in private. Nobody really notices. They treat you normal like everyone else whenever anyone else is around. But when you're in private, then they will treat you a little bit different. You know what I mean? So then you'll think to yourself, like, am I crazy, or is this really happening? But because there's jealousy and there's, you know, whatever, then you won't necessarily say anything to the other women, right? And there's other reasons for that too, like I said, because you don't want to sound like arrogant. You don't want to sound like, you know, because you don't want to stir the pot also, because it brings energy back on you. It brings heat back on you, attention on you, and you don't want people to start like talking. And especially if nothing has even happened, then it's like you could ruin your chances of being with this person, right? Because people are gonna yada yada, right? I'm telling you guys, this is how this shit happens, okay? This is how it works, okay? And I know this. I know this like intimately. So what I'm trying to tell you guys, okay? That's like step one. So the next step is escalating things. And so then when this person, this man, right, who's in power, starts to escalate things a little bit with each person privately, separately. And then eventually it's like a sexual like experience happens, right? Some type of a intimate situation occurs, right? And then this person, whoever that they connected with, it's like that person is not going to necessarily, like I said, say anything about it, because it's kind of like taboo. It's kind of like, oh, well, we shouldn't necessarily be doing this. You know what I mean? Because like there's some type of power dynamic here. You're obviously like the one in charge, or you have some type of power here. And I don't know what other people are going to think. Are other women going to get jealous and upset with me and start treating me differently? These are real social, this is social politics, and this is how people really do make decisions. That just even deciding to sleep with somebody who's in that type of position, you already know that there's some shit that could come along with it. Like, you know what I mean? It can cause drama. And it's sad, but it's just literally true. It's because sex is so taboo, guys, in general, that it can be used a lot of times for really toxic, manipulative things. Because of shame also, because you'd be like, I don't want people to think I'm a slut. You know what I mean? I don't want people to think this or that. So then you keep it to yourself, and guess what? That's what everybody does. And then this person is going around sleeping with a lot of different people in the situation, and because people aren't talking about it because of shame and jealousy and fear and whatever it is, then nobody knows it's happening until it comes out. And usually it's because somebody realizes, oh wow, I'm not the only one. And I thought this whole time I was the only one, okay? I didn't know. I couldn't see clearly the situation, that there were multiple other people involved in this situation. I didn't know that I was being juggled, right? Do you get what I'm saying, guys? It's like this person is really good at that. This is the kind of thing that I'm talking about. And they think that they're just being discreet, right? They're just being, you know, I don't need to tell so-and-so about so-and-so. It's just going to make them jealous. Or I don't need to tell so-and-so that I'm seeing so-and-so, because then they might not actually slowly escalate things with me, because they'll be like, oh, well, I know you're seeing somebody else, and so I don't want to get involved in that. Some people are like that too, where it'll be like, well, why would I get involved in that? That's just going to cause me drama, right? You know what I mean? So they don't want that. They want to have their cake and eat it too, guys. This is the type of person who they like having their iron in a couple fires, okay? That's just the way this person is. And it doesn't mean they're necessarily sleeping with all these people. I'm saying that's on the high toxic end of things, where you're just literally have like a harem, right? And nobody knows it because you keep a secret until it's not a secret anymore. And the lid gets blown off, right? Which is what I think is kind of happening here. But this person can feel it about to happen, and I think they're trying to prevent it. So what I'm saying, guys, is this person might not even like this anymore. You know, they might not be happy with themselves about it. They might actually feel toxic because of it. And they realize, like, no, like, I know that I have, like, this person realizes, I'm sorry, guys. It's bad. Like, I'm getting a lot of sexual imagery right now. It's really intense. I'm sorry, guys. Every time I look at this devil card, it's just like, it's fucking intense. I'm sorry. This person has like a sexual appetite, like that's for sure. And I'm just getting that, like, I'm gonna cover him up because I'm not even kidding right now, guys. But whew, okay, but this is okay, basically, guys. This is the goal, right? This is the goal, okay? This is what we all want. And if we are willing to look at ourselves in the mirror and see where that we need to grow and we need to change, we need to balance ourselves out, things we need to end because they're not going well. What do we really want? Are we on track to getting what we want with our current way of engaging? You know what I mean? Is that going to get us where we want? And if the answer is no, then we need to change that and get unstuck. Like, we can't be stuck in something that we don't even want anymore. Especially if you're willing to admit that, like, whatever it is that you're doing is toxic, then, like, great. That's literally step one. But for those of you who you're not the toxic person, I'm saying, I'm not trying to say they're a bad person, guys. I'm trying to say that they're, like, very... this is just what they've known. This is just what they've gotten to know. This is how they move through the world. This is how they date, guys. Like, this is how they start new things with people. It's just by testing the waters, and they start slow, but they might have a hero complex. I wanted to say that one more time, guys. Yeah, just take a time out and just focus on you, okay? Don't let this thing stress you out either, okay? Don't get yourself all wrapped up in this. Stay calm, okay? With this Temperance card, stay patient, chill out. It doesn't matter either way. You could take it or leave it, right, babe? That's how it should be for you, Aries. You could take it or leave it. You know, you're not going to be desperate for this person, right? Because that's what the deal is that because that's how you play into the dynamic. And this is the dynamic that they don't even want, okay? So if you did, at the end of the day, actually want this person, which I'm just saying, some of you out there might. So if you do, at the end of the day, want this person, and you do feel where they're coming from, and you see how they play into these dynamics from, like, you know, like I said, it's kind of almost comes from a good intention or a good place, but then it turns into something else. And, you know, we all have our patterns, guys. This might just be this person's pattern. So you have to look at that and be like, okay, so I can sidestep this pattern because you know, if you want to be with this person and you know that that's something they don't want to do, and you know it wouldn't be good for you and you don't want to do it, then the best way to go about this is to not play into that dynamic then. Because if they want somebody who, you know, like I said, they create this dynamic with people who need help, who need their assistance, who need their approval, who need whatever it is, and they create this imbalanced situation where it's like, you know what I mean? I need help. Please help me. This person helps them. And then it creates this dynamic, and it creates some type of sexual, like, fantasy. Like, I don't know what it is, guys, is that it's sexual arousal from this type of dynamic. It really, really, like, turns this person on to, like, help people. I'm serious, guys. It's like, it's not, like I said, that's not even a bad thing. It's just the dynamic that it creates because, you know, if you're the type of person where you actually do need help, right? If you're in that position, not saying you're the type of person who needs help, I just mean if you're in that position, that it's like you are kind of at somebody's mercy to a certain degree. And if they do something for you, you're gonna feel obligated through guilt or gratitude to reciprocate in some way, especially if there's sexual attraction, guys. That's where this stuff starts to happen. Because it's not like, you know, they help some dude down the street and now this dude is obsessed with them and wants to, you know what I mean, do sexual favors for them and stuff. It's like, not, you know what I mean? Maybe I'm not being, you know, fucking homophobic or anything here. I'm just saying that this has to do with this person particularly likes helping people that they're attracted to, and people who they're attracted to are also attracted to them. So it creates this dynamic. So guys, like, that's what this whole reading is about that dynamic, this person, what to watch out for. Don't play into it. Don't be vulnerable here, because if you are vulnerable to it, you may be tempted. Okay, like I said, this person may offer to let you move in. This person might offer to help pay your rent. This person might, you know what I mean? And you might be tempted to take this offer, guys, but you need to be careful because it can create this type of dynamic for you. The Three of Swords came out earlier. Like I said, this is about your emotional safety. Imagine being broke and having a hard time and then also having a broken heart on top of it. Like, it's not, like I'm telling you guys, you're gonna get what you need to survive. You're gonna get what you need to move forward. Do not get it from this person, because it will create that dynamic and there will be no reversing that dynamic after it's happened. So if you do want this person and you want it to work out long term, it can't be like every other, it can't be the same dynamic, because it's not going to work for this person. It's not going to work for you. So that's really what I'm getting here, guys, is that you don't engage with this dynamic in that way. You know what I mean? Let them clear out their karma, right? This is what I'm getting. And by the way, I have like all these cards over here that I was showing you guys earlier. I'm just going to put them here, but because I felt like it was 2 separate spreads because I was just pulling off the top of the deck, but we're going to put them right here because honestly, guys, this reading, I did not mean for this reading to be so much about this other person, but this is just coming through really strongly. And so really what I'm getting here is, like I said, it's like, if you want this person, I would recognize that they have some stuff they're trying to balance out and work through. This is a dynamic that they don't actually even want to be in anymore because it makes them feel stuck and it's gets messy. You know what I mean? And they're just not into that. Then it's like, actually do them a favor too. Do yourself a favor and do them a favor by not playing into it from your end. And this person might come at you from their end in that way. And they're going to see that when you decline it, it's going to make them really curious. And it's actually, I think, going to be something that they admire about you, that you're not going to take that and be in their little harem like that. You know what I mean? So in this type of particular situation, guys, I'm not trying to be rude here, and I'm not trying to be like, say like, because okay, think about the harem dynamic, right? It's really, really toxic. I do not like that kind of thing. It's so funny, guys, because I'm, if you can't tell, like, you know what I mean? I'm pro polyamory, like I'm ambiamorous. So any type of love combo, whatever dynamic, I don't want to kink shame people. Like power dynamics are fine. Like, you guys know what I'm saying. But the only time when I'm like, this is not cool is when it's harming people emotionally, when it's harming people psychologically, physically. You know, anytime that, like I can say also, is that it's not necessarily like one thing that's harmful to one person might not be harmful to the next person, but there's some things that are just harmful to everybody, okay? And this is where I start to be like, it's a threshold and it's a spectrum, but not everybody is going to be into what you're into, but some people will be, right? So this is what I'm saying basically, is that in this situation where that there is lack of transparency, lack of communication, where that things are done in secret, and you know what I mean, and it creates this energy, and it's really, really not cool, because I feel like things need to be out in the open in order for everyone to consciously know what they are consenting to. Because I think that I'm just consenting to private sex with you, but then what I don't realize is I'm actually consenting to being a part of this situation and this dynamic with all these other people that I actually don't even know about. Because if I'd known, you know what I mean, my decision might be different, or at least it's an informed decision. And I know that I'm stepping into a pit of snakes where there's like lots of other people involved who all have really strong feelings for you, but I had no idea. So now guess what? Now I'm pitted against all these other people and I didn't even agree to it, you know? So thanks a lot, right? So basically what I'm saying is that in this situation, if you're the type of person who kind of declines this person's advances and you don't really like necessarily take their help because you're like, yeah, well, I'm having a hard time, but I'm not going to take your help because I don't want that kind of dynamic with you, basically. And you're the type of person, guys, and like I said, this is toxic, and I'm not trying to be like that, but you would be the type of person that this person would look at and be like, oh, well, this person's actually like marriage material. You know what I mean? And like, I'm not trying to be like that, guys. I literally just understand this stuff way too well, but it's true, because it would be like, oh, well, you know what I mean? You're a little bit more difficult to get. You're a little bit more independent. You're not going to be necessarily like obsessed with me. You know what I mean? Like we're not going to create this type of dynamic. And like I said, this could be a healthy thing, that this person is like, well, actually, I want to be in a committed relationship with someone who is my equal, right? I don't want to necessarily have these obsessive, toxic, power dynamic relationships. Like maybe they don't even want it. You know what I mean? But it just happens because they're like, they have a hero complex and they just want to help people. And it also turns them on to help people they're attracted to, right? So it becomes this thing where that they get stuck in it too. So what I'm saying is they might actually be pulling out of that and be like, oh, well, actually, this person actually does seem like the type of person that I want to connect with long term, because we're not going to create that dynamic together. I can already tell, because they're saying no, and they're, you know what I mean, standing their ground, and they're not playing into it. So they're going to get curious, guys. Like I'm getting this Page of Cups is just peeking out here from the 8 of Swords and the 10 of Pentacles. So it's like they're kind of like, they're stuck in their world, but they're able to see you, and they can see, like, it's like what they want. This might be how they're appearing. This might be them, and then this is what's going on in the background. Do you guys feel me? This is how they're coming off to you. This is how they really feel about you, because this situation is so different and so new, right? But this is how they really feel in the background, okay? So they have some shit to work through, guys. They have to work through this, whatever this is. They have to end some things in order to come out on this side, right? So what I'm saying, guys, is just be patient and do you. Just check out of this situation. Take care of yourself. Don't trip on it. Be patient. Be, you know what I mean? Be bold. Follow your brand new beginning. You know what I mean? Work through whatever it is. Fight your demons and just let this person work out their shit. And then just see what happens, basically. I mean, I don't know. That seems pretty well-rounded advice, right? I hope you guys got something out of this. But anyway, Aries, I appreciate you tuning in. This ended up being a way longer reading and like way more about the other person than I expected it to be. But this is, I feel like, really important shit. So I hope that you guys appreciated it. And I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. If you guys need a dream interpretation, feel free to hit me up. My info is in the description box below, as well as my donation links if you ever want to drop me a donation, which is amazing. Those of you who have, it really means a lot and it makes a big difference. So thank you. And I look forward to seeing you guys again next time. All right. Bye.